Hey everybody, I'm trying this new, I've never done a live like outside or like doing anything like that, but I thought I would try it today. Um, and I want to talk about a topic that has come across my table with my clients and things like that. And it's the topic of self-esteem. And we've talked about this before in terms of like confidence, but I, the more and more research I do and the more interactions with clients I have, the more I realize that we need to have more conversations about self respect because that's really the root of self esteem and confidence. And so, a couple of things that I want to chat while I'm walking my puppy out today is the first thing is like when someone says, I want to have better self esteem or I want to have better confidence, I always ask them about their self respect. And I ask them, well, what do you do that demonstrates that you respect yourself? Because when you start to behave in ways that demonstrate respect, then your self-esteem follows. One of my favorite quotes is action breeds clarity. Sometimes we think that like, oh, if I just say enough affirmations, if I just say this, or if I just believe that, then my life will change. And like to a degree, that's true. Ooh, good lighting. Yes. But the reality is that when you start to do things differently, then your mind follows. So, for example, when it comes to your body, right? A lot of people think that, oh, when I just get the body that I want, then I'm going to be confident. No, the way that you get confident is by respecting your body. And how do I do that? Well, I feed myself delicious, healthy foods. I make sure that I go to sleep on time. I don't poison my body with alcohol, and I don't let every Tom, Dick, and Harry insert himself in me because, yes, my friends, that does demonstrate a lack of respect. Ooh, I hope it's not too loud. So, self respecting women have confidence and they don't just let anything and everything enter their sphere and enter their bubble. So, having a strong bubble is a sign of respect. Just like when you respect your friendships, you don't let everybody and everything come between you. It's the same thing with you and yourself. Um, and so if you want to I literally despise how they like do this at night. So if you want to have better self-esteem, you have to have better self-respect. And that begins with the way that you treat yourself from the outside in. Okay. Like, yes, you can be like, I'm beautiful, I'm amazing. You can say things like, I am worthy and all that stuff. But you start to believe that when you start to treat yourself like you're worthy. So they're coming this way. So of course it's like super loud. Um, a lot of women will say like, oh, look, I show myself off on social media and yes, and I say this and I'm not afraid to say what's on my mind, but it's like, yeah, but at the end of the day, you don't have boundaries for yourself. That's a sign of respect. When you respect yourself, you have boundaries for yourself. So where are your boundaries though? Like that's always the question. The other thing that comes with self-respect is actually investment in yourself. And I know this sounds like pretty like narcissistic, I guess, if you take the definition of the word at face value. But I don't mean investment in this sort of like newer way where we're talking about, I'm buying myself this and I'm buying myself that, and I'm, all about me. No, what I mean by investing in yourself is I mean that you invest in your growth, you invest in your healing, and you invest in your personal development. And that means that you're investing in changing. You're investing in seeing where you can develop and grow and heal. Investing in yourself in that way, investing in yourself so that you can be better for other people as well. Like if you're a mother, if you're a wife, investing in time in yourself so that you can be better for everyone else. And there's a fine line because a lot of people are going around with this me attitude and calling it self-respect. And it's not. It's just selfishness or overindulgence. And that's another thing. When you see a ton of overindulgence, it's usually not self-respect. It's actually just like pity and usually a way to cover things up. So people with self-respect, like I said, have boundaries, and because they have boundaries, you hardly see like supreme overindulgence, whether that's with food, alcohol, drugs, sex, you know, anything. They have really strong boundaries, and they know what's good for them and what's not. Okay, so if you want to have a decent amount of self-respect and you want to have high self-esteem, start to look at your life and go, where am I demonstrating disrespect in my body? Where am I demonstrating disrespect in my life? You know, and for me, like, this is something that came up when I was competing, and I was starving myself essentially. And it was like, okay, this is not actually me respecting myself. Or like, when I would cut off my pictures to only show my body because I didn't think that I was decent enough to look at, as a person, like in my face. So that's another way where we're demonstrating that we don't really respect ourselves, right? So I'm like, I love my body, and my body is this thing that I want to show off, but I don't really like myself. I don't really think that I have any value, because when you think that you have value, then you treat yourself as if you have value, and you treat yourself as if you have worthiness. And that's, I feel like it's a huge problem in our society. If you look at the internet, you look at women, just the promiscuity of it all. Like, you have no boundaries with your body. Anything and everything is allowed to pass through there. There's no like, nope, not that one. It's like, yeah, sure. And like, how can you have high self-esteem when you don't have boundaries with what enters your spiritual realm? You can't. You can't have, you can't have high self-esteem because you don't have value. When you demonstrate that you value something, you protect it. You protect it. And when you protect something, that means that you respect it. So it all is like one big circle. And so you can, my dog's sniffing all the things. Yes. You guys see him? My lab pit mix. So yeah, this is just something that we're going to have to continuously work on and fight for as women, is really fight for what it means to be truly self-respecting and to have true self-esteem, because the world is really trying to break down our self-esteem and get us to align with a false self-esteem and a false sense of worth that's not true, that's not even genuine. And we got all these girls walking around, 10 years later, feeling worthless, and feeling like, what have I done? Because they bought into the lie that self-esteem equals no boundaries and not saying no to anything. You see it in people who are like extremely overweight. You see it in people who are extremely promiscuous, all of it. So anyway, you guys, that's the video for today. I do have my Confident Woman course that is still on sale. And as I'm adding new modules, I will be upgrading the price. It is probably one of the best courses I've ever created, aside from my food mindset course, and it's one of my most popular courses. So I suggest you take a look at that below. Get it right now if you're interested in learning more about how I develop true confidence and true self-esteem. And don't forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!